Okay, welcome back everyone on this beautiful Monday evening as we are dedicated by Leilui Nishmas Rabbi Chmiel Gershon ben Reb Tzvi Yehuda L'Refu Shalem Fel Yomis ben Chayesara, and for the benefit of Avram ben Yom Benish ben Malki Yehudis and family, we learn sponsored by the Fisher family. Leilui Nishmas Bas Bas Rabbi Shlomo ben Avram Alevi Perel Bas Ruven by Yoel Klugman and family, and by Rebel Yel Yafi Leilui Nishmas Meir ben Binyamin. We're holding by Mishna Yud Gimel, Yom Tov Arishin Shel Chag Shechol Yos B'Shabbos. On the first day of Sukkot that falls out on Shabbos, where in those days they took the lulav even on Shabbos. However, you can't bring it on Shabbos. You can't carry it through the Rishus Harabim. So Kala Am Malichin Es Lulvei and Lebeis HaKnesses, everybody would bring their lulav to shul before Shabbos. Lamacharitz on the next day, Mashkim and Uvam, they got up early. Kol echad ve'echad makir esheloi, everybody recognized his lulav. They all had it in a case with their name on it, or a distinctive case. V'noitloi, and they took it. Because the Chacham said on the first day you can't be yaitzi with somebody else. It says l'lakachtem lochem. Ein adam yaitzi dechavasim yom tov arishin shel chag v'lulavay shel chaver. However, show you my chag the rest of yom tov adam yaitzi dechavasim v'lulavay shel chaver, because the din of lachem is only b'yom rishon. Rabbi Yaisi I'm a yom tov arishin shel chag shechol yos b'Shabbos, on the first day of yom tov that falls out on Shabbos, v'shachach v'hoitzi es halulav l'rishus harabim, and he went ahead and he took his lulav and he carried it to shul on Shabbos. Potter. Why? Because he carried it with the rishus of a mitzvah. It doesn't mean that he carries it with rishus. He doesn't have permission to carry it outside. But since he was carrying it for the purpose of a mitzvah, it's the opinion of Rabbi Yaisi that if you were shogag in the pursuit of a mitzvah, you're not chayav achatas. Now here, the Rav asks an interesting question. The Rav says, but wait a second. A lulav, as soon as you pick it up, you're yaitze the mitzvah. Once you yaitze the mitzvah, so then as you're carrying it, it's after you did the mitzvah, it's not bereshus anymore. So he says it must be that you held it upside down. The only time you yaitze the mitzvah is if you do it derech gidulai, in the way of its growth. You held it upside down, so you are not yaitzi the mitzvah when you held it, or you held it in a box, so you weren't yaitzi the mitzvah when you held it, and therefore the whole time when you're carrying it to shul, you were doing it for the mitzvah. It's interesting that we know that in order that the bracha should be over la'asiyasan, we hold the esrig upside down until we make the bracha. It's interesting that my Elta Zayda, who was known as a Talmud Chaver of the Chsam Sofer, the Imrei Eish, his minig was not only to hold the esrig upside down, but he also held the lulav upside down. The only reason why I don't do it is because I don't want people to look at me a little bit strange. It's the only reason I don't do it. Otherwise, I would do it like a minig of a seinu, but that was the minig of my Elta Zayda, the Imrei Eish. Again, we want to remind everybody, very fascinating Gemara starting in the daf at 8:50 tomorrow night with the Kamsa Bar Kamsa Sugya, very, very appropriate for the 3 weeks. Also, we're looking for sponsors. You could sponsor the Kamsa Bar Kamsa, which will be played also on Tisha B'Av, or you could sponsor the Chumashir this week, 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.